Calling all homeowners in the San Diego County. We will be showcasing 128, count them, 128 homes not available on the market yet that are back to the bank. There will also be a testimonial of someone who's used Foreclosure Friday successfully in the last week, as well as a helpful tip at how to provide old lady insurance. All that and more coming up next. So let's roll the credits and get this baby going. All right, guys, welcome back for this Friday episode. I'm excited to share it with you. For the first time in our little show's history, we actually had a testimonial this week. Barry and Dee from La Mesa or El Cajon, wherever exactly you guys are sitting right there on that fence, were able to successfully use the site, the search tool, and also my collaboration to be able to come in on a property and scoop on it before it went back out in the market. And from our calculations, looks like they came up on that home at least 10%, probably more like 15% when it's all said and done under market. So congratulations. Woohoo! Fantastic job on that. And that's what this is all about, you guys. ForeclosureFriday.com, myself, these tools, they are your old lady insurance. Now, what I mean when I say that is, you know, there's always that old lady who's, you know, on your neighborhood block and you're playing ball and the ball went in her yard and you'd stumble into a conversation with her and she'd be like, I remember when that house right there was $20,000. You know, just because she hadn't taken her medicine and probably had a couple too many drinks at 10 a.m. that morning doesn't discount the value of that statement. There's always a point in reference in everybody's time in a neighborhood when the homes dip down to a level that they will never forget. And the folks that didn't take advantage of it when they could, if they could have during that time, always kicked themselves in the pants from there on out. Well, I'm here to suggest that this might just be one of those times. Now, I'm not smart enough to know the difference of whether it is or isn't, but when I'm staring down the barrel of 128 homes that went back to the bank this week, and I'm looking at some of these properties and I'm looking at some of these prices that they're coming out at, and I can't imagine that we could ask for conditions much more favorable. Now, there's a list of 128 that are waiting for you right under here in this link, and I'd suggest you go grab those and do any of the due diligence. Ask me, just like Barry and Dee did, for any help along your way. But there are 4 in particular that I wanted to show you that pop right out at the map at me this week, and more so for where they are than anything. Okay, so right over up here. So our first guy here is 5855 La Jolla Mesa Drive. It's a 4-bedroom, 3.5 bath, 3,225 square feet, R1. And you can take a look. It's got its own little spot right up here, up on Mount Soledad. It's on the west face over there, not over up by the road, by Soledad Road, and it's sitting right on back of a little canyon right here. Cool little spot. Now, this home was valued just last month at $2,272,000, okay? This just went back to the bank for 1.9, you guys, 1.9, okay? Now, if that's any indication about what they're going to launch this home at, which may or may not be, the truth is that there's some room to move right there. So take a peek on that one, favor it, and track it before it goes live with me here. Second one's actually a little closer towards the 5 over there on Soledad Mountain Road. This is a 325, 2,500 square feet. And I know exactly where this one is. It's up after that first bluff where you can peel back down the backside of the canyon over here. If anybody in San Diego's familiar, here's where the slide was, right up over here. This is on that last little bend. And that's a really cool spot. Why? Because on the front end, you've got street level, and then on the back end, it terraces off, which is super cool. A lot of people do some really interesting things with their home back over on the backside. And here's another fantastic display of value versus winning bid. This one valued just last month at a little over $1 million. Went back to the bank for $682,000. Really? So our next one's actually a little closer down in the flats here. Is off of Grand Avenue. 2157 Grand Avenue. This is a 4-bedroom, 2-bath. It's zoned R3, which makes it kind of interesting. And it's sitting right up over Grand Ave. So it's got a little functional obsolescence there. And it's on the eastern wing of PB 92109. So going to be interesting to see. I think they took it back for even more than what it was valued at. So Not so sure exactly about that one other than to say that it's in the right zip code. So let's keep an eye on that. Next one's closer to the water. It's on 1145 Pacific Beach Drive. This is actually a condo. It's only a 2-bedroom, 2-bath, but it's got a nice square foot print there at just over 1,500 square feet. This one went back to the bank at 621, valued at 674. So it's right about there. What makes this one unique, though, is exactly where it's at. Now, if you could appreciate this as being Sail Bay, then you know that it doesn't get much better than this, okay? I myself find either a bike ride or a run along this beach almost every day to be my medicine. And if you could imagine waking up, dropping down a couple floors, either heading out to your pool or right in here to Sail Bay, that might be a nice option for you. And last but not least, this guy over here on Tangiers, 820 Tangiers Court. It's a 3-bedroom, 1-bath, little single family, 1,500 square feet, which is actually pretty big for this little area right here. This home was valued at over $1 million. Went back to the bank for just under 800, 756 to be exact. And again, another classic example of if you can afford it, grab it. Because this whole chunk of land, see if I can pan back, oh, it won't let me. This whole chunk of land over here, you guys, is as good as it gets. If you could draw a line really from Grand over to here and then back down to Mission Beach, I mean, this is like, this is like the whale's womb when it comes to price indemnity down here in our neck of the woods. So it's a really exciting list this week, and I wanted to showcase all of them if I could, but those 4 really popped off at me. I actually showcased 5 there for you, so consider it a bonus. If you're not receiving this list and you're finding this on YouTube, click on this link right here and make sure that you become a subscriber so that you get this on the regular. And if you're already in and you're not over on Facebook yet, then go ahead and click this link so you can see our daily shows where we showcase hot bank-owned homes of the day that are on the MLS for the grab. Then I'll find you over there as well. Thanks for checking in. Have a good weekend.